So my wife and I became realtors a little over 10 years ago, and we did the same grind that everyone else does. We're working hard, trying to get ahead in a market where everyone is effectively charging the same thing. And we just got tired of it. We wanted to have a better value proposition to offer to our clients. We wanted something to distinguish ourselves. We wanted to invent a value proposition that would have business chasing us, as opposed to us working ourselves day and night to chase the business. And that's why we created something that offers better value to our clients. There's a lot of people that have great representation from their realtor that feel like, that realtor did a great job, but no one's ever paid a massive commission and thought they got a great value or a great deal. We wanted to provide that great deal and that great value to go along with a great service. I love helping people. I love helping people make smart decisions. I love giving people solid advice based off of being an expert in your market. I love it when I temper people's expectations and exceed them. I love that. I love it when people feel like they're thrilled to tell their friends and family, hey, this guy did a great job. And not only did he do a great job, he was really worried about my bottom line. In my opinion, it's hard to be a true fiduciary for a client if you don't care what they're paying you. If your primary focus is how much am I getting paid off of this deal, or if that even enters your mind, frankly, then you're not really being a fiduciary for your client. When we founded the company, an amazing thing happened. The more we focused on customer service for our client and frankly value for our client, the better we did as agents. So the moment we stopped focusing on what commission we charge and how much money we made, we began to make more than we had ever made before, more easily. And it's an amazing thing when you just become value focused, just like every other industry, just completely value focused for your client. And I look at value as it's an intersection between price and quality. If you've got great price and you've got great quality, then guess what? You've got great value. But if you're just set on your price and you're dead set on what you charge from a commission and it has to be high, then it's hard to be really value focused for your client, like any other industry in the world is.
Yeah.
What I hate about real estate, I hate how realtors don't innovate. I hate how realtors are just relegate themselves to buying leads. I hate how realtors won't consider changing anything about pricing structure in order to make more money. I can guarantee you every other industry, whether it's a car manufacturer or a smart device manufacturer, they look at the cross-section of how good do I make this, what do I charge for this, and how many will I sell, and how profitable will I be because of that. Every agent seems a lot more focused on valuing themselves based off of what they charge per deal. And it doesn't matter if they do one deal a year. They value themselves greatly as long as they charge a maximum commission for that deal. They never consider how much more money they can make if they had a true edge, if they had a true value proposition. They never stop and think, I love Amazon because it brings me value. They never look at their own business through that lens and say, man, if I offered better value, how much more could I do? And if I charged a little less, could I make way more? Could I do way more? Would I have an exhaustive list of happy clients who I provided real value to? They never look at things through that prism. Real estate is stuck in its old ways. And that's what I hate about real estate. I think realtors should spend 90% of their time doing deals and 10% of their time looking for a deal. Unfortunately, right now it's the opposite, and I don't think it should be that way. I think most realtors, if given the option, wouldn't mind making a little less if they didn't have to deal with all the negativity and the groveling and the lead buying and all the other things to get the lead. And we're out to change that. It's hard to be an expert on your market if you only do 5 deals a year. Your average agent doesn't do very many deals in a year. People hire us because we're market experts. People hire us, that's why someone should hire a realtor. So much of the marketing that agents do has been taken over by the internet, be it Zillow and the MLS and Realtor.com and all these other areas. So agents no longer have to carry so much weight when it comes to marketing. Where we carry weight is structuring contracts and knowing your market. I feel for the average agent that only does 5 or 6 deals a year, it's really hard to know your market. It's really hard to get good at structuring contracts. It's hard to get good at anything if you don't do it very often. I feel like agents should be doing more deals. And I feel like in order to do more deals, agents should compete for those deals just like every other industry competes for your business. I feel like that's the future of real estate. I feel like many agents look at charging less money and they only look at the companies that have done it despite realtors. So companies that are trying to turn realtors into employees. I don't want realtors to be employees. I want realtors to be salespeople. I want realtors, if they're incredibly successful, to make more money than they ever thought imaginable. But I also want realtors to know that there's more ways to do that than just charge a ton of money and hope you do a lot of deals. There's also providing value and driving deals to you, and having a better value proposition that you can say to the world rather than harassing your friends and family continually or paying hundreds of dollars for buyer leads that come through on a phone, most of which don't work. That's not the future of real estate. But unfortunately, it's the future that we're going down. And I don't believe that should be the future. 2 years ago, we were interviewed by a CRM, and that CRM basically thought it was one of the craziest interviews that they've ever done with a realtor. And they asked what our future was. Like, what are we gonna do in the future? And I responded, we'll probably start franchising at some point. And within 48 hours, I had 3 people say, I want a franchise. How do I get a franchise? And so starting last summer, we started franchising. And immediately 6 of my top 10 producers bought franchise territories. 2 of those franchisees have subsequently bought another franchise territory. And so the people that do what we do, the way we do it, they love it. They get it. It clicks for them, and they can't wait to expand and grow. And so our vision is, just to show the real estate world, there's another way out there, and it's not scary, and it's not evil, and it's not ruining the industry. This sounds horrible, but I'm not worried about the industry. I'm worried about my franchisees, I'm worried about my agents, and I'm worried about their clients. And if the industry's goals align with that, then me and the industry are on the same page. But if the industry is not focused on value for my client and a better work-life balance for my agents and franchisees, then me and the industry just are not on the same page, and that's okay. We intend to franchise across the country. In our first year, we've already franchised over 20 locations. We have several more locations in the pipeline. It's a better way. And now I'm out to show other realtors and other brokers, hey, there's a better way. You just have to be open-minded enough to look at it. And we're slowly but surely making the transition all the way up the East Coast. We have interested parties all the way over in Washington State and Seattle, and we'll be spanning the country within the next 2 years. So how we make it work? How do you make more money by charging less money? Sounds crazy, but it's true. So imagine you're a typical agent in a typical market. In my market, there's about 7,000 agents here in the greater New Orleans market. And imagine you have virtually every agent charging the same thing to do the same thing. So how do you differentiate yourself? Some people might argue, well, we don't all charge the same thing. Okay, sure, but you don't tell the world you don't. Okay, as far as the public is concerned, every agent charges the same fee. And as far as the public is concerned, we all do the same thing for that fee. So I've invented something where we do the same thing, the same way, but we charge less money. So how does that make my marketing evolve? I no longer have to target my friends and family. I no longer have to have a CRM that sends out the most amazing pumpkin pie recipe every Thanksgiving and football schedules to stick on your fridge. I don't have to target the individual. Okay, I don't have to continually reach out to family and friends saying, please send me business, please send me business. It's not my goal. My goal is to tell the whole world, hey, if you're thinking about moving, you can actually hire a full service agent is very experienced and has done a lot of deals for remarkably less money. Now imagine how that changes your life, okay? Imagine if everyone that owned a home would save a lot of money by using you and still get great service. How would that change the way you market yourself as opposed to, hey, I charge the same thing and do the same thing as everyone else, but remember that recipe I sent you? You love me. Remember that time I sent you a birthday card? You love me. Whereas I'm saying, I'm just as good, if not better, because we do more deals. And I'm gonna save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Which one's more impactful? If you were not a realtor watching this, which one would you use? If you are a realtor watching this, how would that change your marketing aspect? If you could list 3 houses at 1% or 1 house at 3%, which one will make you more money long term? Let me turn that onto its head onto a different subject. If Ford started selling trucks for $20,000 a piece instead of $60,000 a piece, how many more would they sell? How would Chevy and Dodge feel about this? They would probably feel afraid and also wondering, how can I do this myself? This is how marketing changes when you have a true value proposition. So what do you need? You need content. You need video content to convince the world, hey, we're better and we charge less. You need a digital marketing team to push that out to the masses. You need all these things, which we have. We get listing requests from throughout the country. In a market right now in 2021 where no one can get a listing, I have dozens of people every month from around the country saying, hey, are you here? I would love for you to list my house. As a local agent in your market, wherever you are, what does that say? If you stop and put down your defenses and just relax and say, oh my God, what does that say? It says that the public wants this. The public wants value. When they shop online for a vacation or shoes or a computer, they are greeted by a host of companies trying to offer them a great product for a lower price. That's called value. Do they get that from realtors? No, but they're about to. We're making sure of that. And for the people that choose to be pioneers and do that, they will become better, more successful, more profitable, and having a better work-life balance than they've ever had in their lives because they don't have to work so hard to find a lead. It is life-changing. Think about how your life would change. So my day-to-day at 1% Lists has evolved over the years. We actually founded this company in the master closet of a rental house. We called it our cloffice. And that's where the company started. And initially it was just me. And we were doing a ton of transactions and really working to get the word out. And then slowly but surely more agents joined because they saw what I was doing. Some of them were in corporate America. They were selling something else, or they were engineers. One of them was a professional golfer. I mean, you name it. We've got people from all walks of life. Many of them are not past realtors that have decided to come on board and do this. And for me, I was a realtor charging what everybody else charged. I decided to do something different, then all of a sudden my life changed. I went from spending 40 or 50 hours a week trying to find a lead to now 40 or 50 hours a week managing all my listings and managing all my buyers, and I couldn't keep up. And so slowly but surely, as more agents joined and more people left their career to come do this, my role changed. I became, more of a trainer, more of a sales trainer, more of a guy teaching people how to manage their paperwork, a guy teaching people how to structure contracts. How do you get more deals? How do you find more clients? How do you do all these things? And then slowly but surely that evolved into recruiter who is, out to try to grow the business because I can only make it so big by myself. And then that evolved into franchisor, who's now, teaching people and helping people to start something that I started for myself at the end of year 2015. How do you launch this? How do you package it up to something that can be reproduced in, California, Washington State, New York, all these different areas? How do you almost have to look inward and say, okay, what would I have done different if I could go back, to 2015 and start all over again? And so that's what we've done, is we figure out how to package it up and, basically reproduce our successes and teach them how to acquire more clients from 1,000 miles away. How do they recruit more agents? How do you do this? How do you post on social media? How do you grow? How do you find a better work-life balance that we have all found? And so that's been the evolution, and it's fun. It's working with clients and making them happy and saving them money. It was very rewarding. But now being able to see an agent grow and go from, a struggling person that gets to now enjoy a level of financial freedom they've never had before and spend more time with their kids rather than spend all weekend doing open houses and door knocking. I mean, that's life-changing. And for me, it's more rewarding than listing a house or finding a house for a client. I get to watch other people enjoy successes and reach peaks that they never thought they would reach. And now I get to do it with, entrepreneurs around the country. I love it. It's, you wake up every day and you can't wait to uncover that new thing that's going to make it all work that much better. That's what fuels us every day. Everybody looks at our name and say, oh, well, you only make 1% per deal. And it's not the case. If you look at the life of a typical agent, what they're doing is they're struggling to get listings. They have a very, very, very hard time getting listings. And then they're paying buyer leads. They're paying for buyer leads, which can either be a 30 or 40% referral to a company like OpCity, or it could be $300, $400, $500 for a simple phone call from Zillow or Realtor.com, which is, you could be at a t-ball game with your kids and all of a sudden Zillow calls you and here's $300 that goes out of your pocket and here's somebody you got to convert right now. That's not how I wanted to live my life, but that's how many realtors are living their lives right now. It's just literally feeding money to some other entity to give them a lead, which is, if you think about it, that's really two things. It's them raising their hand saying, I can't generate for myself. Please give me something and I'll give you a lot of my money. That's the first thing that it's saying. But really, when you pull the layer back, what is it really saying? It's saying, I will discount my commission if I get leads easier. That sounds very familiar to me. Okay, and so for us, what we do is, if I have the option of, as an agent, taking one listing at 3% or 3 listings at 1%, I'm gonna take 3. The reason is because I'm gonna generate more buyers and I'm gonna generate more listings just by having more signs in the ground. So my average agent is dealing with 60% listings and 40% buyers. But the 60% that are listings are much easier to get as a listing. And so 60% of the time, they're making 1%. But 40% of the time, they're getting a sign call, or they've got the amazing buyer, which is, hey, you listed my house and it's under contract and now we need to go buy something. And guess what those buyers pay us? 2.5%, 3%, the higher commission, because frankly, buyers agents work harder than listing agents. That's why everybody wants to be a listing agent. That's why everybody hates being a buyer's agent. Listing agents, it's more knowledge. It's not a huge labor time sink. Working with buyers is show me houses every weekend until I find the one I want, which is not pleasant as a guy with 2 little kids. So, for my typical agent, they find that their productivity increases, like their sales volume. It increases 300, 400%. In their first year with us, and then it doubles and doubles again. Okay. Meanwhile, they're making 2/3 of what every other agent makes per transaction. So think about it mathematically. If you make 3% once, and I make 1.8% 4 times, who made more money? I did. Okay. And what did I do to make it? Well, I didn't sign up with Zillow for a year, and I didn't door knock, and I didn't cold call for hours. I told my friends and my family and my past clients, hey, I'll save you a lot of money if you use me and I'm really good. Please send me your friends and family. And now they have a reason to. They have a vested interest in doing it. They have a financial gain by remembering me. Makes life a lot easier. That's how we make more money.